You know, the world is racing towards electric vehicles, and that's great. But what about the millions, literally millions, of combustion engine vehicles already on our roads? Well, today we're going to explore a really powerful idea. What if the answer isn't just replacement, but reinvention?
And that brings us to the big question for pretty much every vehicle owner or fleet manager out there right now. As we all push for a greener future, what does that mean for your current vehicles? Are they becoming a liability you'll have to get rid of? Or are they actually a hidden asset, just waiting to be optimized?
This really gets to the core of the problem. On one hand, you've got this immense pressure to transition to low-carbon solutions. But on the other hand, let's be real, the cost of replacing entire fleets with brand new electric vehicles is just astronomical. It creates this huge tension for businesses and individuals alike.
Let's break down that challenge. First, you've got the crazy high cost of new EVs. Then you've got tougher emission standards that can be a real headache to meet, all while fuel and surprise maintenance costs just keep creeping up, eating away at your budget. And underneath it all is that nagging fear that your current vehicles could be worthless tomorrow. It is a really tough spot to be in.
But what if the answer wasn't to throw everything out and start over? What if it was about optimization? This is where a whole new approach comes into play, a way of reframing the technology we already have. Let's call it ICE 2.0.
This phrase just nails it, doesn't it? Instead of looking at the internal combustion engine as old news, this approach sees it as a platform ready for a major upgrade. A version 2.0 that's cleaner, way more efficient, and can actually be a huge part of our energy transition.
So how does this actually work? Well, the process is super methodical and totally transparent. It all starts with using better inputs. Think low-carbon fuels and lubricants. Then it's all about fine-tuning the engine so it burns that fuel way more efficiently. The result is cleaner emissions right from the get-go. And, this is the crucial part, every single improvement is measured with hard data.
And look, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky theory. This technology has been out in the real world proving itself for over a decade. We are talking about proven results across thousands of vehicles and countless maintenance cycles.
All right, that brings us to the most important part, the proof. Because a cool idea is one thing, but results you can actually measure, that's everything. So, what does the data really tell us?
Okay, now check this out. This single graphic from the case study basically tells the entire story. We're about to walk through these numbers and you'll see how they connect everything, from direct financial savings to creating brand new value from being green. Let's dig in.
Let's start with the number that makes every single fleet manager sit up and listen. A whopping 30% average increase in fuel efficiency. Just think about that. It means you're going a lot farther on the exact same tank of fuel.
So what does a 30% boost actually look like in your wallet? For the company in this case study, it meant saving over 28 million new Taiwan dollars every single year. That is a massive, massive impact on the bottom line.
And the savings don't stop at the fuel pump. By making the engine run better, you're also reducing all that wear and tear. That means slashing those unexpected, budget-killing repair bills by an incredible 20 to 40%. The financial benefits are crystal clear, right? But the environmental impact is just as powerful. This process cuts out over 3,000 metric tons of CO2 equivalent emissions every year. And that's not just a nice to have. It's a measurable, auditable number you can use to prove you're hitting your climate goals.
But here, this is where the story becomes a true game changer. That carbon reduction we just talked about, it's not just a good deed. In today's economy, you can actually turn it into a cold, hard financial asset. This is about flipping the script, turning an environmental cost into a real revenue opportunity.
To get how that's possible, we need a quick one-on-one about carbon credits. Just think of it like this. For every ton of CO2 you prove you've reduced, you earn a certificate. If you don't need that certificate yourself, you can sell it on an open market to someone who does. It's an amazing way to put a real financial incentive on going green.
So now, this presents a really powerful choice. On the left, you could use your carbon reduction to just avoid paying carbon fees. That would save you about 900,000 NCD. Not bad. But look to the right. If you take that exact same reduction and sell it as carbon credits, the potential value skyrockets to almost 7.6 million NCD. That is an 8-fold increase in value for the exact same positive action.
So, when you put all these pieces together, a much bigger picture starts to form. This isn't just about saving a bit of cash or cutting some emissions. It's about a smarter, more practical, and frankly, more inclusive way for us to move forward.
I mean, this approach really checks all the boxes, doesn't it? Environmentally, you get immediate results. Economically, you cut costs and even create new income. Socially, you're providing a path for everyone to participate. And from a governance standpoint, you get the hard data that companies need to prove they're meeting their ESG promises. It's a win-win-win-win.
And honestly, this might be the most important point of all. A truly successful green transition can't just be for the wealthy who can afford a new EV. It can't leave people behind. By upgrading the assets we already have, we make this journey accessible and fair for the millions of people and businesses who depend on these vehicles every single day. So I'll leave you with this final thought. As we work to build a cleaner future, should our only focus be on replacing everything? Or could it be that the smarter, faster, and more just solution is to reinvent what we already have?